I don't.
Oh, man.
I just have the piano bench.
Oh yeah, the piano bench.
Sitting all by itself.
That's great.
Anyway, so I'm getting the extractor soon to get these 3 bolts out. So I got all the other bolts out. I got a Harbor Freight extractor kit. These are 10mm bolts. The 10mm worked, but it doesn't have a 9 because Harbor Freight doesn't like to give you all the sizes. So I'm working on this, but as you can see, there's holes in it. And if you come over here, past Johnny in his ripped pants, I got the newer manifold I'm gonna throw on there. So wish me luck. All right, so after like 2 hours of fucking with this, Wagner shows up for 5 minutes and gets it out. What do you always say again?
You have to make a love. If you don't make a love with it, it's not gonna happen. Always.
Now let's see if you can get the other 2 bolts out. So anyway, we're almost out. It turns out the Y-pipe bolts are a little rotted, so we're trying to get the other one out, and I got to punch it through the Y-pipe because it's just kind of stuck in there. And we will be on our way.
Line, like gas line.
Yeah, gas line. Look at that. Yeah. This one's looking like Swiss cheese. Oh, yeah. Look what I did with the pry bar. In case anyone was wondering what an open block Powerstroke sounds like, it sounds like a motorcycle. Hit a little bit of a roadblock. I got bolts that are stuck and they don't want to come out because they're rusty. And that's the 5th hour I've been on this. Alright, so I gotta take these Y-pipes out here to get to the flange on the bottom. To fix the, to get the bolts out or swap out the flange of the Y-pipe. So right now I got the turbo off and the pedestal. And I figured, you know what, I'll check the IPR while I got everything apart. And I put this nice little socket on, right? And I realized there's no place to swing the wrench. I even put a U-joint, put it in the back. There's no place to swing this damn wrench. So I just put some channel locks on it and loosened it. So let me slide this back over. And I'll take it out just like this. Oh, fuck. It's not comfortable working on these trucks, I'll tell you that. So this IPR socket you can get from Amazon or eBay. When I was still in the learning process with my first 6-liter, I bought an eBay IPR for like 80 bucks and it came with this socket. And this socket can also be used on the oil filter up top and the lower fuel filter on the frame. All right, let's check this out. Alright, it's not that bad. It's got the older screen, but it checks out. Alright. I was worried that was clogged up. Let me just clean it off, and then I'll reinstall it. Really figure out how to get these heat shields off. So I bent this back. I'm going to spray the bolts with PB Blaster, and I'll probably clean out this because this looks icky. And see where that hole is right there with the oil coming out? You don't want to get dirt in there. So I'm going to stick the pipe back on, because if any dirt gets in this engine, it gets clogged into the IBR, and you're not going to have a good time. The truck's going to shut off. It's not going to build enough pressure. So I'm going to take my precautions. I'm going to clean this out. Alright, so this is what victory looks like. It came in cuts and pieces, but I got the flange off. It turns out the nut was rusted to the threads, but the bolt wasn't rusted into the flange, which was good, because once I cut it, it just slid out. So that's on top of the transmission, or on the ground, I believe. And now I can just put everything back together. And look, I can reuse the gasket. So just got some downtime at work. So cleaning up the turbo. Just got it separating a little bit. Just take your BFH. I don't have two hands available. This is making great video, right? It's starting to separate as I as I crack the compressor housing. Yeah, I wish I had my PB Blaster, but I left it at home. But I'll start the video up once I get this apart. So turbo's apart. Here's the unison ring. Looks like it's in good shape. I cleaned it a little bit. There's the little fins that pivot on these pinpoints here, which help spin that up faster. But I'm just brake cleaning now. I'm just scraping all the soot off. It's actually in really good condition. This spins. That works okay. You can hear it working. Or kicking the oil out. So I'm just gonna finish brake cleaning this, scraping it, cleaning it. I'm gonna put my never sees on it, which is equivalent to my ARP head stud crap, which is right here. Look at that. Right? Turbo's all never seized up. Everything seems to be sliding and working in order. Now it's time to just put the clamshell back together, and we should be good to go. In, it's bolted in. I have the Y pipe clamped on. Just a tip: when you put the Y pipe back on, put it on the turbo first, clamp it, leave it loose so it swivels, then bolt it up to the manifolds, because if you don't, then you're fucked. But on top of that, I tilt it a little bit so the manifolds are coming up, but I'm gonna start it, make sure the metal shoots out and not into the turbo, shoots out into the atmosphere, that way I don't ruin the turbo. And charging the batteries now, gonna give them some fucking cheech, and hopefully this thing will run all by itself and it'll be all better. The axle seal now. Got my lugs off, took the wheel off, sitting right there, and I took these bolts out to pop out this the dust cover with the axle, and then I gotta get the specialty socket, which was like $30 on Amazon. Pop my axle out, and then I got my good old seal, National Seal Company. So I pulled the little nut off with the specialty socket. Everything's not touching dirt. I'm gonna clean it off before I put it back, just to make sure. But pried the seal out. The seal's sitting right there. There's a new one. I'm gonna pound the new one in. Bearings are okay. There's no play in them. They look okay. I'm gonna grease them up just to be sure, and I'm gonna grease up that, clean it off, and then you know, vice versa. And then I'm going to reassemble it, and everything should be good to go. just want to thank you for watching. I appreciate you for keeping up on the channel, even if it may drive you nuts watching me work on shit, because I know it might drive my friends nuts when I work on my shit. They like to make fun of me. But I do appreciate all of their help. And hopefully next video, everything should be great. Because right now I'm in the middle of an EGR delete, so I got the intake manifold and shit off. I found out the passenger side manifold is rotted out too. And that may be the reason why the truck wasn't building a lot of boost. And it was taking forever to kind of get up to speed. But as you can see in the bed of the truck, I got the fender flares put together. And I got some shocks back there. And then other pieces of the truck. And I'm just going to throw it all together. Hopefully I can get all this done, and the next video will be all complete and everything, and this truck's going to look good, sound good, ride good, as best as a 2004 6 liter is ever going to be. And I guess we'll find out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.